What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Inside the Huddle. And this week, I'm back and joined by my brother from another mother, the kid with the golden locks, your best friend and mine, Mike fucking Hewitt. What is going on, Mikey boy?
Quite an introduction. Not much is going on. I'm excited for the football games this upcoming week, I'll tell you that much.
Yo, Big Blue, they're coming off a couple of straight wins. I picked them last week. They rewarded me. And you know something? I honestly don't think a lot of people liked me being solo last week. They're like, this kid's boring. He talks too much. You know, he didn't have a nice shirt on, so he looked ugly. You know, I didn't like it. So you know something? I made sure this week I brought my co-pilot back. And who else better to help me guide the ship than my boy Mikey? So, Mikey boy, you ready for this?
I am ready.
Here we go. First game, Lions at Vikings. Who you taking?
Lions, Vikings. Shouldn't we start chronologically? And
I'm starting with whoever the hell NFL.com has first on their schedule. And it's Lions, Vikings. So go.
All right, I'm taking the Lions in this one. I know that Detroit came off a horrible loss against Buffalo, did a 14-point lead last week and blew it, but I like Matt Stafford. Calvin Johnson was also injured at the time. I don't know if he's fully healed, but I would imagine he'll play more this week. And Detroit's had problems in the past being consistent, but I think they're going to respond. I don't like Minnesota. They suck, and it's an easy pick. Detroit.
All right, Mike. I got some nice little stats here for the Lions for you. I heard that Healy, the Lions' former kicker, tried committing suicide after the game, but he shot the bullet Ride White. That was a nice one, right?
Healy?
And that, yeah, their kicker.
He got released.
He got released, and he tried to kill himself. No, he got cut. He got cut. They cut.
You're thinking Henry, Alex Henry.
Alex Henry.
That was the kicker. It's all good.
Yeah. He tried to kill himself, and he shot the bullet wide right. So luckily, good.
You got the name right. The joke would have been better.
Hey, you know something else? If your hair wasn't blonde, you would look a lot better. So don't give me some shit about being incorrect. All right? So another nice stat from 1976 to 2012, the Lions had 3 field goal kickers. In the last 2 years, they have now going on their 4th field goal kicker. Yeah, it's not been pretty. He sinks those 3 field goals that they missed, the Lions would beat the Bills, because I actually picked the Lions to beat the Bills last week, and they didn't. But you know something? I was so happy when Sammy Watkins caught that ball, that great catch to set him up for field goal range, and then sunk that was like a 57-yard field goal, 58-yard field goal.
Yeah.
Popped that shit straight through the uprights, plenty of leg. I was coming home from work, the guy who's a Lions fan, and he hit it. I was watching it on my phone here because I got NFL Mobile. He hit that. I was just so happy because they lost to the Bills. Now, I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like, losing to the Bills is really bad because, let's face it, the Bills haven't been too bad this year. I mean, they're right in the thick of the things in the AFC East there.
Yeah,
but I was so happy. What?
You can still say it. The Bills suck. They're not good.
You got to give him a little bit of credit. Kyle Orton looked pretty good. He had a pick 6 in this game, but he also had a touchdown. I think he had 300 yards. He didn't look too bad coming off his first start in a little while there. And I was happy the Bills won. I mean, the Lions, let's be honest, they should have won this game, yeah. I mean, if they had a field goal kicker that, wasn't, shanking shit, they probably won this game. He left 9 points on the field. But, nonetheless, I am going to go with Minnesota. Yes! You didn't think I was going to go with that, did you, Mikey boy? Because you know why? You know why? Because the Lions, they're starting to look like the old Lions. They had some bad penalties last week. Although that defense still looked pretty good last week. But Teddy Bridgewater knocked off the Atlanta Falcons his first week in Minnesota. They played a good game. I'm going to go with the Vikings in Minnesota because I think with Teddy Bridgewater back, that offense functions differently. You have his utilization of his feet. He has a pretty good arm. He has good pocket presence. I think in Minnesota, they're going to have the advantage. They're going to be on the home field with Teddy Bridgewater back. I'm going with the Vikings to upset the Lions at home.
That's fine. I will just throw this in there, and then we'll move to the next game. That Atlanta, at that time, going into I think that was their 9th road game, they were 1-8 in their last 9. So, not a very good road team. And keep in mind, Minnesota was playing at the university. They're outside right now until their new stadium's built. So, fraud team that Atlanta is.
Hey, what happened last time Lions played? Okay, they beat the Jets at home. They beat the Jets at Meadowlands, but come on, everyone's beating the Jets.
Yep.
And then they lost to Carolina, badly. So they're not the best road team. So Vikings could upset them.
Fair enough.
All right, next game. Thursday night football. Indianapolis Colts against the Houston Texans at Texas. Houston Texans, excuse me, at Texas. Who are you taking?
I'm going to go with the Colts on this one. Indianapolis wasn't that great last week, but still got the win. They're hot right now. Houston's not playing that bad either, but I like Andrew Luck too much to pick against him. And it pretty much comes down to Andrew Luck. This is a quarterback league. I know J.J. Watt's tough, but I don't think that J.J. Watt and the Houston Texans defense is going to stop Andrew Luck and the Colts offense. I think this team's on a run right now, and I think they're going to continue playing well in Houston. And keep in mind, it's so hard to recover from these games. And coming off an overtime loss that Houston did against Dallas on Sunday, I'm sorry, I just don't see them pulling this one off. I'd be impressed if Houston can beat Indianapolis.
Well, they played a really hot Cowboys team tough. They really did. Arian Foster had a monster game. He really did.
Oh, yeah.
But my boy Andrew Luck, he doesn't throw 4 touchdowns. Everyone's like, oh, my God, what's wrong with Andrew Luck? That's how much of a beast this man is. Mike Trout is my man crushing baseball. Andrew Luck's my man crushing football. Love him. I'm not betting against the Colts, who should be 5-0. They really should be right now. I mean, they've played competitive in every single game that they've been in this year.
Absolutely.
So they should very well be 5-0. Couple of breaks, they win that game against Denver that they're down in. Luck almost brings them back. They should have beat Philly. They could very well be 5-0. So I'm taking Andrew Luck to beat the Texans at Texas. He's a stud, an absolute stud. But you do got to account for J.J. Watt because that man is – I was watching NFL AM this morning, and if there's a statistical category that there's for a defensive end, J.J. Watt leads in it since 2012. So, yeah, you better be careful what he does. So, all right, Steelers at Browns. Who you got?
I'm going to take Pittsburgh on this one, but I would not be surprised if Cleveland wins. Cleveland is decent, and Pittsburgh's not great. I understand that. And I know Cleveland came off a great win against the Titans where they had that awesome second half. I know all of that. And Pittsburgh, by the way, didn't play that well against Jacksonville. But I'm not going to put my faith in Cleveland over Pittsburgh. I mean, look at the last 10 years. Cleveland never beats this team.
Mikey boy.
I know I shouldn't revert to history, but I'm going to on this one. It's going to be a tight game. I believe so. It's in Cleveland, right? Or is it? It's in Cleveland? Yeah, it's not going to change my opinion. It's going to be a good game. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland wins, but if I had to put money on it, I'm going with the Steelers.
You freaking favor. You're just whoring the points, man. You're going to go with the favorites on the Mikey boy.
Not all the time. Not all the time.
At Cleveland's record. Week 1, they lose by a field goal. Yep. At Heinz Field to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Every single week. The 2 losses that Cleveland has, they lost by 2 points.
That's the point, though. But do you see how they lose games? I mean, one of their losses came on a blocked field goal against the Ravens. They just never make the big plays. They're losers. That's what the Browns have been.
They should be 4-0.
Yeah, but they're not. That's the whole point. They're not. They should be, but they're not because they're the Cleveland Browns.
Their offense has been pretty good. They got the 9th best offense in the NFL this year. They got the 4th best rushing attack.
Don't care.
Come on, Mikey boy. Nope. Come on. How good they played this year. So Indianapolis can be 3-2. Very well should be 5-0. But okay, I know they got a better team.
Completely better team. It's not even an argument.
But the Browns, who have played super close football games and have a 500 record, and then come back and have their biggest road deficit overcome ever in their history.
Yep.
And you're still not buying them? Come on now, man.
It's a close game. I don't think that it's so outrageous to pick the Steelers in this one. You said it yourself that they're the favorite. So
I have rode the Browns since week 1. I've been on the Brownies bandwagon. I am not going against Brian Hoyer and these boys right now because they're playing good. Their offense is playing good. Brian Hoyer's look good. They've showed resiliency. They played close games. Browns already beat the Saints at home, which is not hard because the Saints don't freaking play good anywhere besides the Dome.
Exactly.
I'm going with the Brownies, man. I'm not going against them. All right, Patriots at Bills. Who you got?
New England. Picking New England is so easy these days, even though they've gotten off to a tough start. But the Bills, like I said, the Bills suck. I don't care if they had an impressive win against the Lions. I don't care that they're 3-2. I mean, they already took out E.J. Manuel, their starting quarterback going into the season. I'm not going to buy into the Bills. I'm sorry. And New England, I know they had a huge win against Cincinnati on Monday, or Sunday night, I'm sorry. But they're not going to get too high and mighty off one big win at home. I mean, this is a team that's won consistently for the last, 10 years, 10, 12 years. They're going to come back, and they're going to play a great game on Sunday, and they're going to take care of the Bills on the road. So it's what's going to happen.
I'm going to throw some statistics out here for you, Mike boy.
Throw some statistics.
Offense, Patriots are 21st. Bills are 26th. Defense, Patriots are 4th. Bills are 8th. Passing, offense, 20 and 21. Patriots, Bills. Rushing offense, 14 and 20. Scary similar how close these teams are, really.
They are, but again, I'm not comfortable picking the Bills here.
But Tom Brady, last time he played on the road, had the second worst loss in the Belichick era against the Chiefs. They got destroyed.
Yeah.
But I said last week, I don't know if you watched my video, even though you weren't in it. I typically know you only watch videos that you're in. Fine. You like to look at your hair. You got to make sure it looks good. Fine.
That is so not true.
It is. It's fine. It's cool. You got to check out the spikiness. Got to check the proportions. Cool. I understand.
I have a mirror for you.
But I believe I still talked to you last week a little bit about football, even though you weren't in my thing. And what did I say last week about the Patriots? And everyone was taking them to still lose in Foxborough. I said, after they get demolished by the Chiefs the way they did, there was no shot in hell on a Belichick team that was going into Foxborough, they were going to lose again. Get blown out like that. And what happened? They destroyed
Yep.
a team that was widely viewed as a top 5 team in the NFL, only undefeated team. They destroyed the Bengals. Absolutely destroyed them. Darrelle Revis took out A.J. Green. He played a great game. So, Bills and Patriots are eerily similar, but I think that Chiefs ass whooping was kind of a wake-up, that they stirred the beast a little bit. Now they just knocked off a 3-0 Cincinnati team. People are like, oh, how's Tom Brady and company going to do? They lost to the Chiefs. Well, you knocked off the only undefeated team in the NFL pretty handedly. If that's not a statement game, to move you forward. So, I'm going to agree with you. Plus, Tom Brady's career record against the Bills, I think, is pretty fucking outrageous. So, I'm going with Tom Brady to beat the Bills because I think that Chiefs loss is kind of an igniter. They knock off the Bengals. I know it was at home in Foxborough, a place they don't lose typically ever. But I think that was kind of a wake-up game, a statement game to go, look, I'm fucking Tom Brady. You think I'm declining. You think I'm not good. Well, guess what? Boom. He's going to have a fucking, this is where the light clicks on and the Patriots start going. Because they got the defense to do it.
Oh, absolutely.
Sure, their offense got I can't say that goddamn word. Lackluster. But they got a defense that can carry them a little bit, unlike years prior where Tom Brady had to carry him some. If they can get that, Stephen Ridley looked good. He had a great game. If they can get that going.
But the O-line doesn't protect Brady, they're still in trouble.
That was the thing I was trying to get to. They've had a fucking merry-go-round of O-line.
Yeah.
So, O-linemen. So, they could get a consistent core O-lineman. I think beating the Bengals is a nice little statement win. So, I'm going with them over the Bills. Next game, Panthers at Bengals. Who are you taking?
This was a tough one. I went with Cincinnati, and I'm regretting it. Because even though Cincinnati typically plays well in the regular season, or they have at least since Andy Dalton has been their starting quarterback for the last few years, I don't know how they're going to respond after the Sunday night beating. This seems like a soft team to me, but at the same time, they still have a great offensive line. Carolina has its fair share of issues. I do like their defense. So I think it's going to be a close contested ball game, but given that Cincinnati's at home, they are awesome when they're at home. I'm going to go with the Bengals on this one.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going with the Bengals. I know Carolina knocked off Chicago, but Jay Cutler that game, So they needed a win. Carolina hasn't looked really that great this year. They haven't impressed me as much as I thought they would. All I do is watch a game to make sure Calvin Benjamin gives me fantasy points at this point. So I'm going Cincinnati. They're a great team. I don't think there's a chance in hell after getting their ass beat by the Patriots. They're coming home. I'm going to take them. AJ Green, I think he's experienced a little bit of injury this week. I think he's hurt again. But I think he's going to be cleared. He's going to be able to play. You don't have to have fucking Darrelle Revis on him, which will help. So I'm going Cincinnati at home. Next game, Jags at Titans. This game is about as exciting as kissing your sister.
Yeah, you have to expand on this one too much. I'm going to go with Jacksonville. Blake Bortles, first W. Tennessee, I think, sitting rock bottom. Can't lose a game like they did last week.
Bro, they got fucking Charlie Whitehurst now. You see that fucking bullet?
Sorry, I forgot. No, I mean, again, who cares? It doesn't matter, so I'll just leave it at that. Jacksonville Jaguars over the Tennessee Titans.
Guess what, Mikey boy? I agree with you. Bortles.
I'm agreeing.
I agree. Bortles, congrats, man. You get the Titans to knock off as your first win. You've been playing pretty good. Believe it or not, Blake Bortles, I think he has like the 4th highest completion percentage.
Yeah, he's thrown a few picks so far. He's thrown a few interceptions.
He has, but for the most part, he's been getting the ball to his guys at a pretty accurate rate. So he hasn't been playing too bad. They played Pittsburgh close. So I'm going with Blake Bortles to notch win number 1. All right, Packers at Dolphins. Who you got?
I got Green Bay. Another team that I like. I know they have excuse me. They have their fair share of issues as well. And playing in Miami is never easy given the weather change. But Green Bay's legit. And they're more legit than Miami, given their issues at the starting quarterback position. So I think I'd be an idiot to take the Dolphins in this one. Packers win relatively easy.
All right, so I'm not biased at all in my picks, for this one. So I think I'm going to take Green Bay, just simply for the fact I think they're a good team. I like them a little bit. I'm not really biased towards them. I mean, come on now. What happens after Aaron Rodgers goes, guys, relax, R-E-L-A-X. Blow out the Bears. Come out against Minnesota, blow out Minnesota. They have looked like the Packers of old. And guess what, boys? Eddie Lacy looked pretty good last week. He finally had his first 100 rushing yard game of the year. Aaron Rodgers, slinging the ball good. Randall Cobb's been getting in on the action. Randall Cobb has a lot of touchdowns this year. He has a lot. I think he's like top 3 wide receivers for touchdowns so far. Jordy Nelson, he only got 1 TD. Aaron Rodgers dispersed the ball a bit better. Like I said, Eddie Lacy had a nice game. And the Packers defense, mind you, against the Vikings, yeah, sure, looked absolutely just dominating. The best game I saw them play. They were outstanding on 3rd down. They stopped the run. I mean, they were absolutely looking great against, I know it was Christian Ponder, but they had a lot of pressure on him. Jay Peppers, pick 6 in this game, the last game he plays. So, I mean, he looked great. Clay Matthews looked great. And, I mean, you're playing the Dolphins, too. I think the Dolphins are coming off a bye. Am I correct? Because of the England thing?
Yep.
Yeah, so they're coming off a bye. How's Tannehill going to look? He bet you he feels a little bit better after, fibbing, how he's filbing, however you say that goddamn guy's last name, He's like, well, I don't know if he's my quarterback, and then all of a sudden he's his quarterback, and then he destroys the Raiders, and it's the fucking Raiders, so who cares? The only thing that worried me a little bit is after the Packers, because the Packers defense looked great this game. I think they had 1 defensive touchdown, I know that, and they had a couple of picks. But the thing was, is after they got up, their offense kind of stalled out a little bit in the second half, which kind of worried me a little bit. Their passing offense was just kind of meh. You look at their second half splits, their first half splits, it was just kind of different. That's the only thing that worried me a little bit. It was against the Vikings. They didn't really lay it on too much. But they're at the Dolphins. The Packers have looked outstanding last 2 weeks. Aaron Rodgers goes, relax, guys. I got this. Get on my shoulders. Eddie Lacy looks better. The defenses look better. So the defenses look pretty good. I mean, I know that. What are they ranked this year? The defense. They're ranked the 28th, the 22nd defense, but they look good against the Lions. They had a good week against them. They look good against the Vikings. So the defenses looked a little bit better this year. They still worry me against elite running backs. I think the Packers have a little bit of a hard time stopping the run still, but nonetheless, I'm taking them to beat the Dolphins. So next game, it is Broncos at Jets. Just say what you gotta say. I know you're taking the Jets.
Gang Green is gonna get gang banged for the 2nd straight week.
I see what you did there.
The Broncos are gonna put a bigger kill than the Chargers might have. I still think the Jets will score some points in this one. I don't think they'll get shut out for 2 straight weeks, but Denver's gonna annihilate the Jets. Easy pick.
I mean, this is hard. The Jets are a great team. It's getting awesome listening to Rex Ryan tiptoe around the fact that he's gonna get fired after the season.
Yeah, when's he gonna predict the next Jets championship? That's not this year, is it?
Oh, no, that was only when the franchise was the quarterback, bro.
Oh, I forgot. They
lost their franchise quarterback to Philadelphia. They took their franchise quarterback from Philadelphia and gave him their franchise quarterback. That's how they did that. And Rex Ryan, man, like that's the only thing I look forward to the Jets. Like I love when they get their ass beat, and Rex Ryan's just like, well, shit. Just another week closer till my ass is out on the outside because they ain't winning shit this season. Geno Smith is fucking terrible. He is terrible. I think Eric Decker's been hurt, so their whole thing about getting some fucking wide receivers for Geno Smith to throw to is kind of blown up in their face, and Chris Ivory's been kind of okay, I guess. So this is going to be a closely contested game, like by 38 points, closely contested, because Peyton Manning's going to fuck that fucking Jets up. So Ravens at Bucks, who you taking?
I'm sorry, John?
Ravens at Bucks, who you taking?
Baltimore. I think the Ravens are coming off a loss. Tampa Bay lost a bad game that they should have won. They were beating New Orleans in the Superdome, something that hardly ever happens, and they ended up blowing it. Tampa Bay, not a good team. It seems like if they were playing for anything, like I thought that a win against the Saints last week could have uplifted them and maybe got them on not a run, because I still think they're a bad team, but maybe would give them a chance to beat the Ravens.
Think about it. They would have been 2-2, right?
Yeah.
They would have been 2-2, and they'd played two really close. They would have played two really close contested games.
Yeah, they would have beaten the Steelers and then beaten the Saints. So then you're like, oh my goodness, here we go.
Yeah, but no, go ahead. Go with what you're saying.
They didn't, and I think that Baltimore is due to win again. They lost. I forgot they played last week, but they ended up losing. I know that. It was Indianapolis. I think they played Indianapolis. So I think they'll bounce back.
Yeah, they
have a good game, and I think Baltimore wins this one.
I'm going with you. You know, Tampa Bay, they look better the last couple of weeks. Fine, they almost knock off the Saints, like you said. They beat Pittsburgh on that miracle play. I just get enjoyment watching Mike Glennon. He has the biggest strawberry hair I've ever saw in my life. He looks bald, but he has a full head of hair because of how blonde he is. It's crazy. Like I don't know if that guy's 50 or 23. Like you look at it at different angles, it's nuts. So I'm going Baltimore. There's no need to elaborate in this game. I'm just going Baltimore. They've been hot as of late, so Joe Cool's going to get it done. Mike, think really hard about this game. It's going to be closely contested. Chargers at Raiders at the Black Hole.
Man, I think the A's have a better chance of knocking off the Chargers. I'm going to go with San Diego.
Oh, shit. Ooh, that was cruel, bro. That was cruel. I got to go with my boy, Phillip Rivers, my fantasy quarterback. That's my quarterback. That's my teammate, Mike. That's not fair. We lost as a team. So, yeah, I'm going with the Chargers. Bears at Falcons. Who you taking?
This is a very interesting game. It's in Atlanta, so I'm going to go with the Falcons on this one. Again, they're a very good team at home. They're coming off 2 straight losses. Didn't play well against the Giants in the second half last Sunday, so I think they're going to be prepared. I know Chicago had a bad loss against Carolina, but Atlanta, to me, is just dominant at home, and I think they're going to continue winning.
Dirty Birds fly again, because they haven't been flying much lately, that's for sure. Cowboys at Seahawks. This should be a hard one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Seattle. Obviously, they're a home team. But can I say something about Dallas? And I know they're 4-1, and they had a nice win against the Texans last week. But they have to be the biggest fraud team for a 4-1 team. They do not look that great. I mean, they're okay, but
their defense has played better. But you know something? Take DeMarco Murray off there. Make Tony Romo throw the ball 40 times again in a game. That team's not 4-1. Simple as that.
Yeah, I'm not buying into the Cowboys yet. No.
Because if you look at the Cowboys this year, DeMarco Murray is on pace to have 416 carries this year, okay? Years past when they didn't have a DeMarco Murray running, and DeMarco Murray's been good the last couple of years, yeah. But I'm saying he's rushing at a level, historic pace. Like he was only like one of 5 running backs ever. Guys like O.J. Simpson and fucking Emmitt Smith and Jim Brown ever to go 5 straight weeks with 100 yards and a touchdown. I mean, he was like some historic shit, or 4 straight weeks. So you take DeMarco Murray off this team, and I mean, like years prior, my original point was when you made Tony Romo throw the ball a lot, the guy is susceptible as all shit to throwing a lot of picks, which cost the Cowboys. I mean, look at a loss. I remember a loss a couple years ago. They're playing the Lions in Dallas. They had a 21-point lead, and they blew it. The Lions came back. I think that might have been last year, if I'm not mistaken. And so, I mean, you make Tony Romo throw the ball out, they lose. But now that you've been giving, they give DeMarco Murray the ball 31 or 33 times. He had over 100 rushing yards again. You're taking all this pressure off Tony Romo. But you got to give Dallas some credit for this. That offensive line is really, really good. And that defense isn't great, but they've been playing better. And it doesn't hurt when you got Dez Bryant to throw the ball to either. But Seattle, they're not a great road team. They really aren't. I mean, yeah, they beat Washington.
No, Seattle's at home. It's a home game for Seattle. That's why I'm picking them.
Oh, I know. That was my point. That was my point. They're not a great road team. But when they come home, in the Pete Carroll era, when they come home, they're nearly fucking unbeatable there. it doesn't matter who they play. It's just that 12th man effect, the whole aura of playing in Seattle. I think two of their three wins this year are at home. So I'm going with the Seahawks, but I agree with you. The Cowboys are 4-1, but they're not the best 4-1 team, that I've ever saw in my life. They're solely lucking out to Marco Murray doing what he's doing. All right, Redskins at Cardinals.
Arizona. Washington has been disappointing. I know they played better on Monday night but Arizona seems good. I think Arizona lost this past week, so
yeah, I think the Broncos.
I don't know. Is Palmer going to be activated, or they're going to still stick with the backup Stanton?
I think they're sticking with Stanton.
Okay. Even it doesn't matter. I'm sorry. I'm going to go with the Cardinals. Better defense.
He doesn't look bad. It's Drew Stanton.
No, yeah, not bad at all. So yeah, I don't see how you could pick Washington in this one.
What? If it's a battle of former MSU quarterbacks. Remember how I used to say like a couple of weeks ago, like last week too, that I like Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
Well, I'm revoking my statement. I hate Kirk Cousins. That guy fucking sucks. He's not good. I can't tell you how many receivers he overthrew by 10 yards. There was a play where Deshaun Jackson he was running a route where he went straight and then just ran left. I don't know what the fuck the exact pattern's called. An out route is when you run straight. I don't know. I don't know all the fucking football terminologies for the routes. But he went straight and ran a quick left hook, whatever you want to call it. The ball was like, fucking Kirk Cousins was so off timing, the fucking ball was like 6 yards behind Deshaun Jackson. It was fucking terrible. But then here's another thing. He hits Deshaun Jackson for like a 55-yard touchdown on a beautiful throw, and he gets flushed out of the pocket, and it was a fucking perfect thing between two defenders. It's like, what? What? How the fuck can you miss him on a route 10 yards away, you throw it 6 yards behind him, and then you get flushed out of the pocket and hit Deshaun Jackson between two defenders for a 55-yard touchdown? So, and Alfred Morris looked like complete shit. He single-handedly fucked me this week on going 4-1 in my fantasy because the idiot had 6 points, and for the first half he was negative .06. So, or 0.60. So, Alfred Morris needs to get his shit together. Kirk Cousins, I don't know what you have there with him on anymore. He's hitting 55-yard TD passes, look like a thing of fucking beauty, and then he can't hit a fucking receiver on a basic slant route. So, I don't fucking know. But I'm really angry at Kirk Cousins right now, and so, God, I'm going with the Cardinals. Their defense is too good. Kirk Cousins sucks. That's the final ruling. I don't care who's quarterback, RG3 or fucking Kirk Cousins. They both suck. All right. Giants at Eagles.
This is a tough one. I think that Philadelphia's defense, Philadelphia can't stop the run. But the bottom line is that
is Jennings hurt?
Yes. So they're going to go with Andre Williams, who had a great game over the weekend against Atlanta. But the bottom line is that I see the New York Giants offense being very cute this week and trying to establish the run because Philadelphia can't stop it, and I think it's going to ultimately cost them. And I think they're going to run a lot more run plays than they should. They ran a lot last week against Atlanta, which I thought was a problem. Again, they still won by 10, but I think I can just see their game plan being an issue. And Philadelphia is good. I know the Giants have won 3 in a row. They're hot, but Philly's been playing well all year. Really should be 5-0. I mean, that game against San Francisco, they shouldn't have lost. So I'm going to go with Philadelphia. They're at home. But it's a big game for the Giants, and it will be a good one. I just can see the Giants getting too cute with the offensive game plan and it turning into a problem. And let's be honest, Eli hasn't thrown an interception now, or an interception that was his fault, for a couple of weeks. I think he's due for 1 or maybe 2 this Sunday.
All I gotta say is, how about those birds, baby? So I'm going with the Eagles. They're gonna fly. Eagles fly, even though their defense isn't that good. But they're playing in Philly. Eagles played good there. Nick Foles looked a lot better last week. So maybe LaShawn McCoy actually does something for once. I don't know. Don't want to guarantee anything because he's not been good. And I know that the Eagles' defense has not been good. But I trust Nick Foles in the offense more than I trust Eli Manning to not throw stupid picks against the Eagles because you're right. He hasn't had I'll give you some credit. I don't like Eli Manning. You know that. I'm not his fan. But he has not looked bad over the last couple of weeks.
He's been great the last couple of weeks, no doubt.
He hasn't been really good. He hasn't thrown stupid picks. He's been he's been pretty good. The Giants as a whole has been pretty good. Their defense has been pretty good too.
And you know what? If they don't get cute and they throw the ball a lot, they go to Cruz. Odell Beckham's going to be playing for a second straight week.
I love good too, Odell Beckham Jr. He's got some good.
If they pass the ball, New York's going to be in this game, but if they don't get cute with the offensive game plan and they do throw, watch out. New York might steal one in Philadelphia.
You know me, I don't like giving the Giants credit at all. But I will give them credit. They have looked good the last couple of weeks. All around, they look a lot better than they did the first two. That is for damn sure.
That's easy to say.
But I'm going with the Eagles to bounce them. They're going to win at home because the Eagles are a lot better than the Giants. I don't care about the defenses. I just think that as a whole, as a talent-wise, they're better. So then we go with the Niners at Rams for Monday night. Who you got?
What a crappy Monday night game. Please tell me there's an ALCS game I can watch. I'm going to go with San Francisco. End of story.
All right, so here we go, Mike. This is for you. Can't coach with him. Can't do it. Can't do it. I want winners. Can't coach with him. I'm going with San Francisco. But you know something, though? You can't discount the Rams too much because here you go. You got the 8th best offense in the NFL. Davis has looked pretty good, man. He has not looked bad. And they got the 13th best defense in the NFL. So this is not – I mean, they're 1-3, yeah. But this isn't a slouch 1-3 team. They're a 1-3 team that could upset you. You know, because they do have talent on the squad.
That is fair. And San Francisco hasn't looked that great this year. There's some turmoil going on with the coach and his communication with the players. It's been reported, but
that's no fucking coach turmoil shit. Like they're even I forget the San Francisco 49ers player. He's like, you keep talking about my coach like that, I'm gonna come to your house and beat you up, Deion Sanders and Bill Simmons and all you other guys. And so it wasn't Bill Simmons. Bill Simmons is a different ESPN report. Jay Glazer. So you better watch out, guys. I play football and I'm mean. Don't talk about Harbaugh that way. And then Mike Singletary's like, can't do it. Can't coach with him. Can't win with him. Can't do it. So, yeah, I'm going with the 49ers. But, yeah, that whole John Harbaugh shit's getting annoying. And then John Harbaugh sitting all happy face, like, oh, you know, it's so nice that my players came to my aid, but, you know, you shouldn't be asking questions like that. And, you know, you got the fucking 49ers CEO out there. He's like, oh, he's our coach. And blah, 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 blah. So, I don't know. I'm getting tired of hearing about it. I don't know about you, but whatever.
Tiresome as the Derek Jeter farewell tour.
Oh, the Derek Jeter farewell tour.
You don't have to go back into that, though.
Oh, man. That's what it's reminding me of, though. It's like every week it's like, is Jim Harbaugh out? Is he done? Is he getting fired? The players say he's not very nice. He was yelling at them in practice, saying he needed to work harder and stuff. He was going, you need to run better. It's like, shut the fuck up. You know, Jesus Christ. But all right, Mikey boy. So we need to start keeping track of this shit next year, like our picks, so we know overall records. What do you think about that? Next year we're gonna do this again.
Well, I'm at a pool right now that does keep my overall record, but we'll keep something. Who has the better?
What is your overall record so far this season? Because I haven't been keeping track of my shit. It hasn't been very good. I got boned a lot so far this season.
I'm over 500.
Are you? By how many games though?
I can't tell you offhand. I don't go upside up, but I'd say about maybe 8 to 10 games.
Okay.
Not that great.
I like it. All right. So we'll be back next week for Week 7 picks. Hope you guys are enjoying Inside the Huddle. I know I'm having a lot of fun doing this. Hope you guys are enjoying it as well. So I got for you guys today. I'm John Check. That's Mikey Hewitt. You'll probably be back with me again next week. Have a good one, guys.